Well, hello everybody. I'm getting ready to do a little bit of work on this Keil table to get it ready for the radio to go in, since the radio is almost completely done. And what I need to do is replace the wiring in the legs. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we have an outlet plug there that goes right there, goes through that hole. It's got an outlet right there. I apologize for the lighting, but it's got the old plug there, goes into the hole there. So what I'm going to do is take the end off, probably just cut it off, run some new wire down in there, put the ends back on it. Over here is for the ground and the antenna. So I'm going to tie a string or something around those so that when I pull it out from the bottom, I'll have something in there to pull the wire back in with. So that's the plan. So I'm going to sit you guys on tripod and get the outlets out of the legs. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, this is the antenna wire and the ground wire. So what I need to do is I've got this piece of wire, and I'm just going to put this piece of wire through here so that I can pull it through, and hopefully that hole's big enough for all this to pass through. I'm going to just kind of wrap that around that like that. So hopefully I can pull that through. What that'll allow me to do is get the blue wire down through that opening in the bottom, and then when I get ready to put my new wire through, I can fish it back through with that. So that's the plan there. Let me get you resituated. Alright, so now I'm going to take that, or attempt to take this little outlet down here out. There's some little bitty screws down here. Hopefully will come out without too much trouble. There we go. And there's the wires. So let me see if I can feed those other wires through there, through the hole in here, without them getting stuck. I think it's going to come through. Keep myself out of your screen so you can see. Oh, something's hanging. Alright, so I took the knot out and I've twisted the wires sort of together, and I'm hoping they're thin enough now to make it through the hole. So I'm going to pull this lightly till I get up. There we go. Yeah, so that worked. I'll show you when I get down here. There we go. So that's what I did. I just took the knots out, and then I twisted the wires, these around, bent them through, made that. So there we go. That one's out. And that still leaves me a good 3 feet of wire in there, so I got plenty of room to attach my new wires to. So that's this one. Now let's get the other side. This is what that looks like up close. I'll clean that up some and get some new wires on there. And we'll get the other side off of here. So let me get that next to do here. Alright, I gotta get the other end loose. Okay, I'm back here on the top. I was going to show you this. So that's where it goes down and through the hole, and it's got some sort of a covering on it, and then it's attached with a staple. It's held up there with a staple. So I got to get that staple out. I'll probably have to go get me a pair of pliers. I might just try pulling on the wire and see what happens. But I was going to show you that, because then I'm going to cut that wire. Well, you know what? I got to cut that wire off anyway. So I'll probably just cut the wire right there, and then I can pull it on out, and then I can pull the staple out so I can put it back on the new wire. Okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, that is what happened to that rubber around that wire when I went to cut it, so I could get that staple out. All I did was go to cut it, and you can see that the rubber is so rotten. That's what happened to it. Give it a shot. As rotten as that was, I'll be curious. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't know if you guys are seeing that or not, but as soon as I'm pulling it through, all that rubber is just pulling right off of that. That's what I'll check that out. Wow. There it is. What a mess. Get out of your room here in a second so you guys can see this. My dog's looking at it. He's like, "Dad, you're making a mess." Alright. That's what's left of that rubber coated wire. A mess on my wife's floor. I'm going to have to clean this mess up, or she won't be too happy. Okay, we're down here in the workshop. This is what this is the one that had all that crappy rubber that rotted off of it. That's what that looks like. I'm going to see if I can get some screws out. There's a screw there and there. If you can see that. It's like plastic melted in there or something. I'm going to see if I can get that out. Same on this other one over here. It's like something was backfilled in that or something. Let's see if I can get it apart. Okay, let's see what we can do with this, and hopefully I'm going to keep this in camera for you so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing and what I go through sometimes to get this stuff to work out. I realize these plugs are not polarized. And I don't know that I'll ever put anything into this, but I want to make it back so at least it's safe. Safe as can be made. I mean, to be non-polarized, right? It's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. I gotta go get some cleaner and a wire brush, and then we're going to get this thing cleaned up. So I got an acid brush here, I've got a wire brush here, and I've got some alcohol here. Now I'm going to do a naughty and just throw this black stuff onto my floor, because I can always vacuum it later. It's just a cement floor. Alright, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take this rubbing alcohol, squirt a little bit in here, I'm going to go around in this thing, see how much I can get out of the inside of this thing. Might not be all that much. Okay, so not the prettiest in the world, but better than it was. Now we'll go ahead and do a little of the paste de resistance. and I'll show you guys this, what I usually do. I had one of the viewers ask me how I get some of my stuff as shiny as I do, and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so I have a buffing wheel. So what I usually do is I come over here and buff this stuff out. Now that being said, you got to be extremely careful, and I'll try not to screw this up, but this will snatch stuff out of your hand so fast that if it's something that you don't want to lose, you better have a good hold on it, because it'll sling it completely across the basement, and if it's fragile, you've busted something antique and you can't redo it. So let's give it a shot, see what we can do here. Hopefully I won't have it snatch something out of my hand here and throw this across the basement. I could go around the inside parameter, but that's not really seen, so I'm not going to worry about that. But that would pretty much shine up, just like the rest of it, if I did that. Let me wipe this off and see what we got. Okay, so here's what we got. So you guys can see this. They turned out pretty decent. Get up closer, you can see inside. They cleaned up pretty nice. I'm actually pretty happy with that. On the back side, for comparison, here's the other one that I haven't done anything with yet. As you can see that. So this one's ready. Now, what I did on the inside, because you can see that's cleaner than it was, I went ahead and took my Dremel tool, a little wire wheel, and I went in there with that. So that's that. And then when I had the screws, used the original. Now these aren't brass. These will probably rust again, but at least I polished them up for now. I could have got some stainless steel screws, but everything I've got is not flat. You know, the flat slot screw like that, everything I've got is pretty much Phillips. So what the heck, man, I mean, it's down there. This thing's 90 years old. I'm going to use the same hardware it came in it. Well, it's not broke. There's no sense trying to fix it. So I'll move on to this other one here. We'll get it done, and then I'll come back when we get ready to put the wires in. Okay guys, I'm going to show you how this turned out. There's that piece. There's that piece. There's that piece. There's the two screws for the front. You can see that or not. Not perfect, but better than they were. That's the whole idea, to make something better than it was. And adjust it. So now we'll put it together. Alright, there it is. Back together again. All I gotta do is get my wiring on there and epoxy the back of that like it was before. Okay, I thought I'd show you guys how I kind of marked this thing so I know what it is. You know, and when it's in the set, you're not going to see it. It's in the bottom of the leg anyway. But I made a white mark for the neutral, and I made a black mark in there. Barely can see it for the hot side. But that's how I'm going to keep track of it. I went ahead and used a brand new hunk of line cord, and I'm going to put heat shrink around it where it goes into the end to kind of make it resemble the cord that was in it. So I'm going to take it up there and put this in. Okay, so here's my socket all ready to go. Here's my wire. What I've done is I put a little piece of masking tape on there. And now I'm going to thread this through that. Like that. And hope that that'll go through the hole sufficiently. I put another piece of masking tape around that right there. Okay, I got that all taped together except right on the end, and hopefully that won't snag, but we're going to find out here in just a second. I'm going to start trying to pull this through. So good. Yep, we're through. Now I gotta hope that's gonna go in deep enough to seat. That'll be the next big thing to seat properly. So we're gonna find out here in about 5 seconds. And there we are. There we are. And I know which one's the antenna on this end because the big one is the ground. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, the end of the radio is going to be about right here. So I'm at least this much probably long. But I wanted to make sure that I had enough, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and take this tape off and take this wire off, because you probably noticed on the other side I forgot to run a wire down that one, but I'm hopeful that it won't be too bad of a deal to get one fished out of there, and I'm going to try that here in a minute. But first I want to tie a knot in the wires so they can't go back inside of the cabinet. And that's actually what it had on it from the factory, was a knot where they just kind of looped the wires on themselves and made a knot so that it couldn't pull inside of there. You know, now that I've got the knot in there, that's actually almost exactly the right size. I don't think I'll have to cut it at all. So there we go. The white wire is the ground, and the black wire is the antenna. You can see there, that's where I tied the knot. Right here, this is where the radio is going to sit. Now still got to get some new rubber for that, but those antenna terminals are like right there, so it's exactly right where it needs to be. So that's perfect. All right. Now I got to go prep this other end for that other wire so I can feed that through there. So let's go do that. And that's what it looks like with the end off of it. Get those nasty wires out of there. Okay, I thought I'd show you guys how I kind of mark this thing so I know what it is. You know, and when it's in the set you're not going to see it. It's in the bottom of the leg anyway. But I made a white mark for the neutral, and I made a black mark in there, barely can see it, for the hot side. But that's how I'm going to keep track of it. I went ahead and used a brand new hunk of line cord, and I'm going to put heat shrink around it where it goes into the end to kind of make it resemble the cord that was in it. So I'm going to take it up there and put this in. Alrighty. So I fed that through. It wasn't hard at all. It wasn't not a problem. So that being said, I've got this in bared. Okay, I squished this up a little bit because it's got to pull through a fairly small hole. Alright, let's give it a shot, see if it pulls through. Yep, pulled right through. Piece of cake. Alright, now let's get our screws. I hope that one seats in there. Let's see if we can get the plug in there. Yep, that's gonna be fine. That's gonna be just fine. There we go. All right, there we go. Both in. You see my white mark there, and obviously don't need to see the black one, but I did that kind of for the future. One other things I did to this table while I had it out in the garage and was fixing it, the shelf that everything sits on here was separating from the vertical section, and that's all been glued and clamped back. So, got our wire here, and we're going to take this all back apart, which may be not as easy as you would think. It's just as easy as you would think. I just pulled it hard and it came right off. So good. All right. All right. Good stuff. Now, okay, so what I'm doing is cutting me some heat shrink that's long enough that it will make it down in the hole of the leg. At least that's the plan. I can get it go in there. There we go. All right. Now I need to figure out how much I need to get into where I need to be for my plug. And I'll shrink that up. Alright, now I want to cut another piece to go over the top, and I don't even know if this will be big enough to go over that. One more time. It don't look like it will be, so I was concerned about that, but I do need to get it trying to build up to this opening right here. Let's see if I can get a little piece on there anyway to make it a little bit fatter going in there. There we go. I'll hit that one again. One more time, maybe. We're almost where I want to be. There we go. Alright, there's that. That should do it. Alright. Now let's take our wires. And hope that I left them long enough to do what we got to do here. Well, that's kind of dumb. I guess I should have fed them through there first before I did that. That'd be alright. Perfect fit. Alright, so I marked the side that's going to be hot. I painted that screw black. And then when I get this done, I will put a white mark on the opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and we can get these wires on here. All right, good and tight. take my other piece. So right now, the way this is going to be turned, the hot wire's towards the inside of the case when I move it like this. There it is, folks. Looks like the original, only better. Now we get our staple back in. Try to get our staple back in. I gotta see the hole. Can't see it with my glasses on. That's it right there. There it is. Alright. So now I'm going to get my white paint. I'm going to put a white mark on this top of this plug. So I'll always know that that's the neutral outlet right there. Might actually stick it right inside that outlet right there a little bit. Okay, so what I did was I took a little of that white paint, just stuck it right inside that outlet piece right there. So if I decide to use that plug, I'll know which side is the neutral. Alright, so that outlet is back where it belongs, just like nothing happened to it. So really all that's left on this cabinet is these rubber feet. Now these rubber feet are hard as brick. And they're depressed, as you can see they're like depressed. I went on McMaster-Carr and for me to buy some rubber, round rubber like that, it's going to be like 10 or 12 bucks plus shipping, which is like another 10 or 12 bucks. So here's what I think I'm going to do, at least for now, for the short period of time. I've got these self-adhesive felt feet, and I think what I'm going to do is just stick one on each one of that, so at least it has some cushion for the radio, because these do have some give to them. So that's what I'm going to do, and then later I'm going to get the rubber feet for it. But for now, so I can get the radio in here, we're going to put these on. All right, they're in place now. Now I just got to hope that it doesn't make the radio sit too high. I don't think that it will, but we'll have to see once we get it in here.